Welcome back, boardwalkers, to my art studio. Today we're going to do the sketching part of our self-portrait still life that I'm working on for that upcoming contest that I've talked about for a couple of weeks now. This is that reference photo on my phone, and we're going to transfer that to this Hahnemuhle Watercolour Mould-made paper. It's surface sized and cold pressed. It's 100% pure cotton rag. It's 300 GM square and 140 pounds. It's a 9-inch by 12-inch watercolor block, and it's a brand new block because you can see this protective watercolor sheet on here. Watercolor blocks are usually glued on all four sides of the block, like this one is, except for this little section right in here, except for one little section of your block where you can fit in something to remove each of the sheets in that. My other supplies that I have today is going to be the Pentel Twist and Erase Click mechanical pencil in 0.5 millimeter lead, my very hard to squeeze rubber eraser, a 7-inch ruler, and my 10-inch ruler that I have here. I also have my Bob Ross painting knife, and that's what I'm going to use to remove this top sheet, protective sheet. This is how it comes when you're just going to slide. See how that's in there? You're just going to run it across the edges. And just carefully slide that through there, making sure not to damage any of your lower sheets. And get it to pick up here, and just run that around it. And then we'll set that out of the way. And that removes that nice little plasticky sheet of paper. And then we can get started plotting this out and seeing where our halfway point is on our paper. Now, from the look of this, if I put this back on here, our center point's going to be somewhere right in here, I'm thinking. Because if we mark this, this is 9 inches across, and our halfway point is going to be right about here, 4.5 inches. And if we go down the center of this, we know this is 2 more inches down here, so our halfway point is going to be 6. And that's going to be right about there. So right about there is going to be our center point. So let me move this out of the way. And I like to find the center of my paper usually and mark a grid. It's not a complete grid. It's a partial grid. And what I do is I just put dots on here, and then halfway in between my halfway point, I'll do 2 1/4 and put a dot, and then I'll come 2¼ on this side. And I'll come down here to the bottom. Do the same thing. Find my halfway point at 4½. Go 2¼ dot, 2¼ dot this way. Alright, find that center point. I'm going to make sure we're lined up right. Here in the middle. We know that we're at 12-inch paper, so halfway is going to be 6 right here. And I'm going to put a little T mark. So that's my center point. Now, putting my ruler right about here. If I go down 6 inches and put a dot on each side, come down and put a dot on each side. Now, I can grid that. So that dot is really going to be there, and that dot is in the right spot, just about. So I can mark that one out, and mark that little one out. And now I have a basic grid that I like to use for drawing on my paper, my transfer. But first, if you're new to my channel, I'm CB Mac, and on this channel you'll find tutorials about plein air painting with watercolors, gouache, ink, graphite, charcoal, and colored pencils. I also do some art supply reviews. If you're enjoying this video so far, could I ask you to please subscribe to my channel, tap that thumbs up like button, and share this video with others who you think might enjoy it? Also, click on that bell icon to receive notifications for my upcoming videos. It makes a really huge difference in the growth and the support of my art channel. And to my 36 subscribers that I have so far, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope you're learning a little bit from this channel. So let's continue with measuring. I'm going to put these paint brushes up here out of the way and put this cloth, because we're not going to do any of the painting today. We're just going to do a rough sketch so that we can paint next time. I like to take my photos, and after I've gridded out my sheet that I'm going to transfer it to, I like to roughly measure my, I don't know if you can see this or not, but I like to roughly measure my reference and transfer it basically from that. This is 3½ inches on my phone by almost 3 inches here. So I'm going to go ahead with 3 inches and say that divided the 3 inches in half, you get about 1½. So my halfway point is going to be somewhere along here. Right about here, I'm figuring, on my photo. So right about here where my hand is, going this direction, going up, and going over, is about where my halfway point is going to be. So if we get up here a little ways, the halfway point is going to be right about where my eyes and nose are. My nose and eyes are going to probably be about the halfway point. Now, I just realized that in my 6 inches here, on each side here, I forgot to put in my halfway point on that part. So let me come in here and mark the dots on here so I can find those points also. And then down here on the bottom, do my halfway point marks here. And I basically just use this on every drawing. It's kind of a graft system without me having to draw all the lines and then having to do a lot of erasing afterwards on my drawing. I just have to mark out these little bitty marks. And I'm not sure if you can really see that, those dots. All right, now going down, back to measuring, it's about 3.5. So I'm gonna go 1.5 for 3 inches and then another quarter, so about 3/4 of the way. So about where my fingers meet right here is where my halfway point is gonna be. And so basically, yeah, right in this dark area is going to be where the center of my portrait is going to be. So once I figure out where the center of my paper is and the center of my portrait, then I basically just like to rough sketch in now. Let me double check. We got 1.5 right here. So I'm going to come down the center and 1.25 plus 1/4 is right about there. Now, to figure out my halfway point from that, I've got 1/4 and 1/4. And so right about where my nose is going to be this halfway point. So right about here is going to be where my nose is. And I can plot everything pretty much from there. Let me get my eyes in. By 1/4. All right. So there's my halfway point. One and a half right there. One and 1/4 there. So actually my chin is going to be, instead of this, I've remeasured it again, instead of this part, the bottom part of my chin is actually going to be where that halfway point is going to be. All right, so eyes. Coming down 1.5 plus 1/4. So I've got that slight little curve of the neck going up. And I've got the chin going right about here. And I'm going to go up this way, roughly go up a little more. Bring this down. We've got this long section for the chin. Double chin in there. Move this to the side now. And get the corner of the shirt with the button. Get this little bit of a collar going. And let's see, the edge of my nose is going to be right across from the bottom of my ear, and then right over in this area, roughly, is going to be the waist of the little figure. So I can get that plotted in. The little chest. Little shoulders. Arm go in. That's actually way too big because I've got to keep room in there for my hair. So that hand is going to be right about there. That little elbow part is going to be there. That's going to be there. Okay. I've got this a little too big, and a little too wide, so I'm going to make some adjustments real quick. I feel like I've got this way too big and I haven't left any room for the hair like I need to. I always get my perspective off. Alright, we've got a wrist there, we've got the arm here. I don't know, I'm not happy with that. Try this one more time here. Alright, let's pull this down this way. And we're going to make that the elbow. Torso's going up this way. This is going to be our torso of our little man, our little wooden figure. And the shoulder's going to go about there. And that's going to be the arm. This has got to be a little bit different. Alright, let's fit this hair in here, where I think this hair is going to be. Right about there. And its arm is touching the hair, but not really in the hair. So, put that there, and we'll put the hand of the little figure. I'm going to put it in the hair, because with our reference photo, we're able to do and make modifications with it. We did not have to make it exactly like the reference photo. It's my reference photo, and I can take license with it. And you can take license with other reference photos, but you still have to give credit to the person who took the reference photo. Alright, so that arm, the top part of this arm is coming down to the waist. So let's do that. We'll get this top part of the arm to the waist. We'll put in that elbow section. We'll continue on down the same length as where my upper arm is. We'll give to the bottom. And I'm sketching this a little bit darker now because it's looking like you guys could not see what I've sketched. So I'll probably sketch back over some of this so you guys can see it better. Alright, and then we'll get this hand in. And that means that hand is too small because I just do not have that going right. Alright. So many mistakes on this today, but if I'm making the mistakes while we're filming, then you get to see how I correct it and change it. Okay. We'll put these hips in. The hips go as long as the arm, down to the wrist. And put that in. Got these little hip sections, connectors. And then we've got this leg is bent slightly out. So let's get that drawn in there. And we put a knee in. Down this leg going this way, or calf muscle, and let's see, we've got this coming down on this shirt. We're going to bring it all the way down here. Move this. Get that going right about there. And I need to make sure that the bottom of the feet are right at the edge of this button. If that is correct. Yes, right there on the collar is where the leg should be coming to an end along with the little foot right here. Which means this leg is going to be straight. And our knee is going to come right about there. And we'll bring this leg down straight and continue it down straight. Ankle and that foot going right there, kind of like that, which then places this base. It's sitting on a base, our little figure thing is, so I'm just going to roughly draw that in. And we'll probably erase most of this because my fingers are holding it. And my fingers, if we enlarge this, we can see that my finger, my index finger, is coming right across here. So, we are going to erase part of this base. We're going to draw my fingers in. Loosely draw that in, put a knuckle there, and put that right like that. And we're going to have my fingernail right there. Top part of my knuckle, and then erase this part, and that is where my thumb is going to be coming out. So I'm going to curve that up. Don't have that right. Try that again. Curve that a bit. There we go. And then this finger here is going to be foreshortened because we've got that knuckle coming right up here, which means I can erase all of this inside. Do that little bit of the nail there. Good grief. A little bit of the nail. Alright, and then get that knuckle showing. And then we've got right in here, we've got another finger coming from the other hand. So we've got this section, this section, this section, and the thumb are from my right hand. Then this finger, here, and here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a thumb. So we'll get this knuckle section in right here. And I can get this base put in. I've got this part is the knuckle, and then right across there coming down. I apologize for that meowing and coughing sound in the background. That was my cat Crowley. He was having a hairball issue. All right, we were continuing to work on drawing these hands and fingers. Let's see if I can get this to look how I want it to look on this pinky that we're doing right here. This pinky section. Alright. And that's coming up over that other hand. And then we've got this little dark section in here that I need to account for to make for that shape of the hand, which then helps makes the fingers, this finger here coming up across the edge of this finger up here and across all of those. So we're going to erase these lines and we're going to make that slightly curved and narrow back. We're just looking at shapes right in here. This is just a slight little sliver of fingers, of shapes coming across the knuckles here. And that's going to curve in also right about there. And that's going to give us the shape of our other finger, our other index finger, right in here with the slight curves, the 3 curves here. So we've got one curve here, one curve here, the third curve here into this finger right there, and then up into the palm right here, which is going to be the palm. And then of course our thumb is going to come right about there. And zoom this out some so we can see what we've got going here. The wrist is going to end up, okay, so our next button, I believe, is going to be right about here. And that's right about where our wrist is going to come down. And that's going to end up there with our thumb coming way up here to this finger. We've got a slight edge there, a slight hump here where the knuckle is, and I'm just going to roughly place that in there, that shape, and run these shapes down right here, just so I can know where to shade. And then shade right in here with this section here, going up into that thumb. That's looking somewhat better. Now I'm going to put in those marks of where that knuckle is. And I can go back through here and erase all of this when I need to, when I'm painting. Alright, and there's that thumbnail. We've got the pinky finger here, which is where the ring is. So I can start kind of putting that in, that shape. And then getting that long section here and in to the hand before we come here and scoop that into there, and then make this part here into our finger, that slight edge right here where the bottom half of that hand is. And right there is our wrist, which is right exactly across that line of where our shirt is gonna go. So our wrist is gonna come right about there, the crease is, and follow on out with that shirt and extend that shirt a little bit more this way instead of straight down like I have it. So we're kind of doing this little line right in here, but I'm kind of making a curved section over here for the stripes. Brush this off. Okay, so let's get the rest of this finger up here. So this is where this finger comes down and connects here. So we need to erase this line. And there is our thumb joint right there. Got that wrong because it's this joint right here, so it's right there. Got that going a little straight. We've got the creases from the fingers here and the skin coming across this part of the arm, of the hand, I mean, not the arm. Goodness. And we're gonna round this thumb out some. And now this shape is taking on a little better, this black shape. This shape in here. Alright, the knuckle crease right here. And shaded in there. With our ring right in here underneath this finger. Okay, so that ring is going to be right in there. And I'm going to put just a little hash mark on it so I can tell that that's the ring. Yeah, that ring. This finger is going to go up that way. And we've got just this little bit of the nail exposed on this finger. And I think we've got our hand in there just nice. Now, right here is going to be a slight curve of this arm that we need to get in. The ring is going to bring that arm straight down here, going right close to where these, going right close to where these marks are on this grid. We can erase these grid line marks because we don't need those in there anymore. We don't need these on this side. This will be the wood grain. So, whoops, wrong thing trying to pinch down. Alright, let's get back up here and do our neck. And this head is got a little bit of this little section right here. And then we kind of go up. And bring it head down. And that's looking pretty good for that. Alright, let's get the rest of this hair blocked in. Kind of blocked in. Alright, there's that mark of the chin right here. And going up. And I'm just going to kind of grid this in. I will lessen this line a little bit. But this is where the cheekbone is. That hair is going to come all the way down to right about here where this other part of this collar is. It folds down along here. And so right about here is where that shirt piece is and the hair meets, right in there. So we'll just get that in there, just roughly get that in there. Erase that. Now I can erase this T section here on the center and lighten that some. That's our center mark. Up here we can get back over here. We can go back this direction. We can bring this arm down across here and do this elbow area. That other crease line. That comes down, this bows out some. Going right across there into the arm. And we can tweak this as we go along. Make it a little rounder. And that goes there. I can erase that line. We can erase this line in here for the shirt. And soften this line here for the wrist. Just have it crease right there. Move this line for my shirt. Okay. Now to do this collar, we're going to come up here and do this section here. Right out there. We've got this little triangle section. Kind of comes down the back. And then this goes right off the shoulder. Down the back of the shirt. And we're just going to bring it right down here. Loosely. We'll get rid of all these other little marks in here. We can lighten this mark down on the bottom, the center mark. We can get rid of this center mark, because that looks about right where our shoulder was going to go, is right in here. Looks like where our shoulder will be. And curving down and coming right about there. And that is our arm right here. Down to the elbow line, like that. Okay, right here is the mark where we're going to put the ear. So we're going to close up on this face so I can see what we're doing. And right in here looks like we've got an earring, a little oval. Rough it in. Get this ear up here. Rough that in. We want to get this little curve going. We want this little shape here. Okay, then we can do my hair going up. There's a little bit of a curve right there. Oh, come on. Bring that up across. Now, there's a shift of our hair shape right here. So I'm going to put in a little bit of the hair shape direction. So I kind of have an idea with the part here and how to get the color in with the different shades. All right, that is going to come down. Ooh, wait a minute. Maybe a bit too much. All right, now the hair direction is going to go here. Here until we get right up there. At that point we come down, and if we look at this, it pokes out just a hair here on this one little section right there. So that right there is going to be my gray section all the way down into this little section right here along the face. rid of that dot now. Marker dot, that marker dot, and this one by the ear. Now we can put in that little bit of a shade right there. Bring this hair up right in here a little bit. All right, these are these the eyes or are these the eyebrows? I think this is the eyebrow. I'm going to put it in. And I'm going to arch that up a little bit more. And then come down. And put that in there. Just roughly get it in there. We can make changes again. Got a little bit of a shadow there. Coming right down. I can erase this little bit of the nose. Excessive part of the nose. I can shade that side a little bit more. Get this down. And bring this nose down a little bit more. Right here. Maybe bring that down a hair. Yeah. Bring that down a bit. Okay. We've got this crease line right here. Is it narrow or long? We're not sure here. And there. Let's see if we can get this other eye placed in here. That's a bit wide. Highlight there and a iris highlight there, I think. Let's look at these eyes. Ooh, not liking these eyes. Okay, we've got this wide section right in here that I'm just going to highlight a little bit. just the best I can. Little tooth showing right there. And then just this little bit of a lip. Right there, coming down. Rid of this shadow spot. Now, park that up some. And, ooh, yeek. I don't know, folks. Well, let's see if we can make any changes here. We've got a shirt that comes out right about here and then comes down, and oh, look at here, I missed my elbow. I took that all the way down and didn't need to take it all the way down. Bring that down this way and over. And get our elbow in right about there. Now let's see. No, I got that too high. That elbow should be right about there. Okay. There we go. And the shading difference of the arm. Let's see, we've got that shirt coming right here, so we've got to match this up. Match that up. There we go. Alright, so now all this in here is messed up. Let's redo this. Okay, we've got the ring with it coming down, curving in. Okay, coming down, curving in to a narrow elbow. Right about there. Alright, we've got the arm coming here and the shirt coming there. So let's put that in and see how that looks. And erase all of this mess. Whew, goodness. Definitely a hot mess. Alright, that is not matching up. Here we go. There we go. Make that a little bit bigger because we've got this shirt coming right through here. There we are. That makes that a little bigger. Right there. And that comes down in there. There we go. Alright. I think that is the portrait I'm going to paint next week. Not too bad, I don't think. Could be better. But seeing that this is only like my third or fourth attempt at doing a portrait, a self-portrait, think this looks pretty good. Let me know what you think about this portrait. Whether you think I need to make some changes to it. Whether you think it looks halfway decent for self-portrait still life project for the contest, for Slew's contest coming up next week. I'm gonna get this painted with you guys and we'll see what happens. I'll put a list of art supplies, affiliated art supplies links in the description below that I'll be awarded a small commission for if you make purchases through those at no additional cost to you. But then go ahead and feel free to comment or post what you think about this portrait sketching. Ask me any questions about my modified grid system if you'd like. And I will read each and every comment and try and answer any of the questions that you guys post. You can also follow me on Facebook or Instagram. And I look forward to painting this next week when I see you guys next week on our channel. Goodbye for now.